Hello, my friends. Today we're going to do another lovely science experiment, and this week's is ocean themed. So for this experiment, you're going to need some water. You're going to need a jar or a clear glass. I chose to use a mason jar. You're going to need some salt, which I poured mine into a bowl, if you can see it. A spoon to help me. And then you're going to need to collect some things from your backyard. So if you look on my plate, I have big rocks over here. Small rocks over here are little pebbles, and I have some dirt, or you can use sand if you have sand in your yard too. So if you want to pause your video right now, you can go and collect your things from your yard and then meet me back when you're ready. So to start my experiment, I'm going to be layering what the ocean looks like. So I'm going to start with the biggest things I have. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to put some of my big rocks in my jar. So I'm going to fill my jar with my big rocks. Let's see. Alright, so I've got all my big rocks in my jar. Is there still space in my jar? Can I fit more in here? If I look, there's spaces in between these rocks, and the ocean doesn't have spaces in it. So I'm going to try to fill these spaces. What do you think I should add to fill the spaces in my jar? If you're thinking little rocks, that's what I'm going to add next. I'm going to add my pebbles. Let's see if I can fill some of my spaces with those pebbles. So I'm going to add my pebbles in here, and oh, if you look, they're starting to fill up the spaces in between the rocks. Let's see, can I fill some more space? And if you shake it a little bit, you can try to fill it even more to make our ocean look even more real. All right, so I added all my little pebbles, but is there still space? I still see space in between some of the pebbles. What do you think I could add to make it even better? To make it more like an ocean? I'm thinking I'm going to add my dirt, and that's why I have a spoon. So I'm going to add my sand or dirt. If this was the ocean, it would be sand. And I'm going to see if I can fill some more of those little spaces. So my dirt's kind of thick, so it might not fill all of my spaces, but I'm going to try. So I'm going and filling my spaces. I'm going to shake my jar a little bit to see if I can get my dirt to go even down further. Oh, and if you look, it's going towards the bottom. So I'm going to add the rest of my dirt, or ocean sand, into my jar. Now this dirt's kind of thick, so if I look, I still see spaces. And in the ocean, there's thick sand and thin sand. So I don't have any thin sand, which is why I asked you to get salt, because you might not either. But if you have thin sand at home, you can use your thin sand. And I'm going to use that to try to fill in even more spaces to make my ocean. Oh. And I don't know if you can see, but if you see right here, my thin sand or salt is going way deep down and filling in my holes. So I'm going to add as much as I can until I get to the top of my rocks. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's going straight to the bottom. This must be the thinnest thing that I added. It's the smallest little grains of salt. And look at that. It looks like I filled up my whole jar, right? But what are we missing that the ocean has? What's something that fills up space even more than big rocks, little rocks, thick sand, and thin sand? It's the last thing we have. We've got water. So I'm going to pour in my water and see if I can fill in some more of that space. And if I look, the water goes straight to the bottom. Oh. And now, do you think I can add anything else to fill my jar up more? I don't think so. I think we made an ocean, and this is what our oceans look like. If you go to the beach, you'll see little rocks, you'll see big rocks, you'll see big thick sand and wet sand, and then you'll see some thin sand. And that's how it fits all into the ocean. That's why we see the water on top. Because if you look at my jar, you'll see the water is the furthest thing to the top. I hope you have fun filling up your jar and creating your little ocean. I had a lot of fun with mine, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!